All right, guys, welcome back to the 21 Convention. We have our next speaker is the only speaker that will be speaking twice at this event this year. Even though he believes that computers are going out of style, he will be teaching you online game and how to use your computer to pick up women. Here's the man himself, Bravo. Welcome, man.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. So yesterday, when I spoke last time, it was about self-defense and tactical training, and I mentioned that I was into firearms training, tactical training, all that stuff before I got into pickup. What a lot of people don't know is I was actually married when I was 23 years old. We had a house, 2 cars, all that stuff. And actually after a miscarriage, things started going downhill. I really wanted things to work out. She didn't. She wanted to call it quits, so after less than a year, we had to get divorced. And one of the worst parts of getting married and like less than a year later getting divorced is you have all these gifts and all this family that came out and saw you, and you feel so horrible because they spent all this money. Like I was like, do I give gifts back? I didn't know what to do. It was fucking heartbreaking. Luckily though, the housing bubble was at the perfect time, so we sold our house. We made like $100 grand, split it. Worked out well for us. She ended up buying another house afterwards, got hosed. I read it, I knew. Anyways, I don't get joy out of that though. So anyways, I don't. That'd be petty. So I really don't. I wish you as well. But anyways, so I started out on this, and a lot of guys, it really bugs me when guys say, oh, I'm a natural, and I got into this stuff, and I knew what to do. Because I didn't, especially when I was divorced. I was crushed. My spinal cord had been like compressed down. I felt like not like a man anymore. I'd let myself go to, and I erased all those files from my brain of how to talk to girls, because I didn't want to have to deal with that anymore. And one of the things, too, I wanted to also improve in my life was I didn't want to be to the point where I had to settle for a girl. Like, I remember when I got divorced, one of the very first things I thought was, man, I'm damaged goods now. What girl is going to want to date a guy like me? I'm going to have to lower my standards. Like, before I didn't want to date chicks that had kids. Now I should probably do that, because what chick's going to want to date a divorced guy? Maybe I wouldn't date chicks that weren't that cute before. Now I might have to, because I'm tainted. That really sucked to think like that. And when I started realizing I needed a change in my life. I wasn't happy with where I was going. I wasn't positive. I was reliving the past over and over again and all my past failures. So I started this self-help, self-improvement journey on my own. Quit doing the tactical training. Started co-running a yoga studio, health and wellness studio with a friend. Started working on self-improvement. And it wasn't for about 6-7 months later I read about this book, The Game. Read it in 3 days, went out, started using this stuff. And a couple months later, Neil Style was doing a seminar. I ended up going to it with my wingman. We met him. He offered me, I ended up staying for free for that. And on the end of the second day, he actually asked me to help teach. A little bit later, I went to New York with them for a seminar and boot camp. I helped teach there. And I went from junior coach to senior coach to eventually executive coach, where I moved out to LA and I lived there for like the last 5 years, running the company, the coaching staff, full-time, 40+ hours a week, in-field training, phone coaching, boot camp, seminars, all that stuff. So I'm pretty good at this pickup stuff. About a year ago, I started my own company. I have my own website, bravopua.com. And part of it is I have a free forum, a blog. All this stuff's free. One thing that always pissed me off was guys who aren't on their own forum posting. I'm the #1 poster on my site. I think my forum's pretty solid. Lots of free content, lots of free information. I'm on it all the time. I try to answer as many posts as I can too, but if not, there's other guys on my site, and I use a belt system like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, so you can see there's purple belts, brown belts that are on it posting. You know these guys are legit. I give every single one of those out. So anyone that has one is solid. My online game 2.0 program, the only difference with that is the video that we're about to see now is on my forum, and all the new stuff that I come up with that I'm always testing and tweaking also gets put in this section of the forum. So it's my 2.0 program because it's always getting updated, and all my members are always posting new stuff there also. So it's user-driven content. We all help each other out. I also critique people's pages. You can go there. You can read all the critiques I've done of other people's pages, and you can learn a lot from that. If you just take notes from here, you're going to learn a lot, but that's just a program I offer, and it's $169. So one of the biggest problems guys use is online game. They don't use it correctly. Online game is not a replacement for cold approaching. Guys who get into this, they think they use it as a crutch, and they end up not using it properly, which you should be going out. You need to be going out and doing cold approaches, because if you don't have the balls and the confidence and the skill to do that, then when you go on a date with a girl online, a lot of times you're going to fuck it up because that shy awkwardness is going to come through. So I recommend this just supplements your game. You're online, you use it a little bit, you can't go to sleep, screw around at work or school, hop on, send some messages, that's it. It is also useful if you want to practice your dates, maybe sex too, while you're still working on your cold approach skills, because you can be getting dates using this. But like I say, this is just something that's just part-time, not your focus. Too many guys get into this, they quit cold approaching and they just use this. I didn't even get into online game for a couple years after I moved out to LA, because I just didn't want to focus on it. I wanted to work on my real game. The other thing you can do too, and I'll explain this a little bit more later, is when you travel somewhere, and I did this to London when I went there a little bit ago for a seminar, I set my profile up saying I lived in London beforehand. I was going there for a work event, and I was going to scout it out because I might be thinking about moving there. And that's not necessarily dishonest, because I might move to London. So I needed like a tour guide or someone to help me out, so I had girls lined up before I even went there. And one of them traveled over 4 hours to come see me. So different sites. People use Facebook, and they think Facebook is good for gaming. I use it a different way. I want my Facebook page to be awesome, and I want people who then look me up online. Girls think they're being sneaky, and they search me up. Or someone that maybe I Facebook close, when they go to my page, I want my page to be money, to where they look at it, and that does the work for me. So you want to have cool pictures up, cool funny status updates up. I put lots of that stuff up, and I give everyone here permission just to copy and paste the shit I use. And just instead of sharing it from my page, though, go to the source and then do it that way so it looks like you found it. And one of the funny things I see is online, I'll post something, and 30 minutes later, someone else will post it, and there's all these comments from his friends. Where do you find this stuff? This is so funny. And obviously, it's for me. I give you guys permission to do that. I don't use Facebook to game girls, because to me, it's just, there's so much other competition. The girls aren't in the right headspace, in my opinion, to get hit on in Facebook. Guys teach it. To me, I just think my time can be used more effectively and more efficiently. This comes from my martial arts and tactical training background. So I don't want to have to spend a lot more time on something if I can spend 5 minutes on a dating site or 5 hours on Facebook to get the same results. MySpace, it's dead. Some people still use it. Looking at the camera too. Don't use MySpace. Even though Justin Timberlake or something bought it and they're trying to bring it back. It's dead. Match.com, eHarmony, those cost money. I'm cheap. I don't want to have to spend any money if I don't have to. eHarmony, you can't even check out girls yet. You got to like pay and like get matched up or something with them. Like I was trying to scan girls. I couldn't see if they're hot or not. Fuck that. Free dating sites, Craigslist. It's usually used by prostitutes. It's any girl that would go on Craigslist and put up an ad. Not classy. I don't want to go out that type of girl. OkCupid. I'm using that now. It's getting better. But most of the people who are on OkCupid, there's tons of these questions and quizzes and all that stuff. And that's stuff that girls like. I don't like any of that stuff. I don't want to fucking waste hours answering dumb quizzes. But unless it's like a zombie quiz or something, like some of those are kind of funny, but that's it. And I'm always like the #1 guy. I'm the guy that would live, everyone else would die. But anyways, with the OkCupid stuff, it seems like most girls get into that and they like investing all that time, and it's not as like rapid fire and fast like the other dating site I use. So it works, but really what I recommend is finding a site on the next one I'm going to show you, creating a profile that works, and then I just copy and paste it on other ones so you can use it that way. So which site do I recommend? Plenty of Fish.